Welcome back. In the last session, we have discussed in detail the concept of linear programming. Let us discuss about further theoretical aspects of linear programming problems. Next one. Essential ingredients of linear programming problems. Or in simple terms, we can terms what are the various terms or steps that are required with regard to linear programming. Before we go into further aspects regarding the steps required in LPP, first we need to familiarize the terms with regard to LPP. Then we will discuss about the steps. So essential ingredients, in simple terms, we are going to deal with what are the terms with regard to LPP. And some of the terms has been mentioned in the previous session. Let us discuss in brief what are the various terms. First one, objective function. Objective function, as a term suggests, what is the objective of that particular decision. That is the meaning. And the objective function, as I have mentioned earlier, objective may be to maximize profit or minimize cost, whatever may be, and how it is represented. It is represented like this. Z equal. Z is the function that is used with regard to LPP equal to C1 x1 plus C2 x2. And it will be gone like that because it depends upon number of constraints that we are dealing with. If, for example, x1 and x2, these are the variables because x1 and x2, these are the variables that are representing a certain product which I am dealing. If I am a businessman, I am dealing. For example, x1 is the name of a type of a biscuit. x2 is a name of the type of another biscuit. If I am selling a third type of biscuit, there will be x2. So depending upon the nature of business, this variable will be there. x1, x2, x3, it will be gone like that. Then anyway, it will be a finite combination because by the end there will be C1, Cn or Xn. So it begins with C1, x1 and C2, x2. x1 and x2 usually will be related to any products with regard to decision making, and C1 and C2 are constants. Constants means it will be anything numbers or numericals with regard to that. You will get a clear idea while dealing an application case. Right now, just understand C1 and C2 are constants. Constants usually be represented in numbers, and x1, x2 representing the decisions in which area has to take the decision. If I am dealing with any product which I am dealing, so x1 and x2 or x3 or x4, whatever it is, will be representing that particular product like that. So first one, objective function. In the answering of an application question, it will be like this. First one, you need to identify what is the objective function. So you in that case, you have to write down in the equation like this: is equal to C1 x1. x1 and x2 will be common in almost cases. C1 and C2 vary depending upon the details given in the question because they are constants. Constant means numbers given in the question. Next one, linear constraints. In simple terms, these are the difficulties that has to face in order to achieve the objective function. So linear constraints, they are set of restrictions imposed on the variables appearing in the objective functions. The restrictions may be due to limitation of resources or limitation of factors of production like manpower, machine hours, machine time, labor power, like that. These are the issues we have to face or difficulties which we have to face in order to achieve the objectives. So constraints will be represented as linear constraints because it will be represented in the form of a linear equation. So restrictions are written as a1 x1 plus a2 x2. Plus it will be gone like that because if there are more constraints, the equation will be a bigger one. If there are two constraints, it will be only written like this. and it may be greater than or less than the number. That will be given in the question. During the application level case, we will discuss about the meaning of what is greater than or equal or less than equal. Here also a1, a2 and an and b are constants. And because that will be represented in the form of numbers, that is the meaning. Next one, feasible solution. Feasible solution to a linear programming problem is a set of values for the variables x1, x2, x3, x4, etc., which satisfy the constraints. We will come to that during the application level case. Anyway, I understand that these are the terms related with the essential ingredients of LPP. Finally, optimal solution. We know that the ultimate objective of the business is either to maximize profit or to take decisions so as to minimize cost. That is known as objective function. And finally, that will be the solution for achieving the objective function is known as optimal solution. So these are the various essential ingredients of LPP. Next, let us study in detail how a mathematical model with regard to an LPP is prepared. There are some few steps with regard to that. Sometimes you may find it confusing with regard to theoretical aspect. Don't worry, in the application level case you will get a clear picture regarding what is the mathematical model, how we can prepare a mathematical model in an LPP. So formulation of a suitable mathematical model to explain the given situation is the starting point of a linear programming technique. So the first step in a formation of mathematical model is identify the objective, what the decision maker is planning to do, whether the decision is taken in order to maximize profit or minimize cost. So we will use the term maximization or minimization. That is of great importance. First you need to identify that. In the question itself you can easily identify whether it is a maximization case or a minimization case, because it will clearly specify the purpose of the decision. Step 2, as a decision maker you need to mention the objective quantitatively and express it as a linear function of variables known as objective function. We have mentioned about the objective function previously. The same objective function has to be represented in the form of a linear equation consisting of numbers and variables like x1, x2, x3, like that. Once the objective functions or associated linear equations are prepared, next you need to identify the constraints. That is another important steps with regard to a LPP problem. You need to identify the constraints. What are the factors that affect our decision with regard to maximization of profit or minimization of cost? So what are the constraints? That basically depends upon the nature of the question. If it is with regard to maximization of profit, my constraints will be how many goods has to be sold, how many goods has to be sold, or how many goods has to be distributed to the consumers, what is the price has to be set, likewise. If it is regard to minimization of cost, how much has to be produced, what will be the cost of the raw materials, such like that. Such factors are known as constraints. That varies depending upon the objective of the question. So constraints are those relating to availability of resources or conditions on quantities to be purchased if it is regarding production, or produced or sold, like that. Constraints are expressed in the form of linear equations, otherwise known as linear inequalities. So this is how you have to deal with non-negative conditions such as x1 greater than or equal to 0 and x2 greater than or equal to 0. We will discuss that. This is special cases that are also included along with the decision variables. We will discuss that during the special cases in application question. Right now, these three steps are the most important step with regard to the problem. The problem is easy, but the thing is you need to identify what is the purpose of the question, whether it is for maximization of profit or minimization of cost, and what are the issues that has to be considered. And next, how a format or a mathematical model is prepared. Right now we have discussed the theoretical aspect. Next we will discuss how it is represented in the form of signs and symbols. It consists a combination. LPP questions is a combination of numbers and variables. Variables means x1 or x2 or a1 or b, a2, like this. That varies depending upon nature of question. Anyway, there is a certain pattern with regard to that. Let us discuss how a standard form of a mathematical model of a LPP is prepared. A general linear programming problem of two variables can be stated as, first one, you need to find x1 and x2 which optimize the decisions variable. Usually x1 and x2, as I have mentioned earlier, will be relating to the products. If I am a furniture manufacturer, my x1 will be chair and x2 will be table. If I am a bakery owner, my x1 will be cake and x2 will be samosa or puffs, like that. For the time being I am using such examples. Please don't write such examples in the examination. So once your x1 and x2 is prepared, and if you are identified the objective of the question, if it is related to profit or if it is related to cost, C1 and C2 can be easily found. So once you found out the x1 and x2, you need to write down z equal to C1 x1 plus C2 x2, where C1 and C2 are either it will be related to cost aspect or it will be related to profit aspect. Usually C1 and C2 are structural coefficient and are constants. C1 or C2, it may be related to cost or it may be related to profit. That depends upon the question. If it is related to minimization of cost, C1 and C2 represents cost with regard to x1 and x2. If it is regard to maximization of profit, C1 and C2 represents profit of x1 and x2. That is the concept. So once you found out x1 and x2 and also found out the objective of the question, you can easily write z equal to C1 x1 and C2 x2. After that, you need to find out the constraints. So the constraints will be written in the form like a11 x1 plus a12 x2 less than or equal to or greater than or equal to b1, where another one a21 x1 plus a22 or a22 x2 less than or equal to b2. These two are structural constraints or otherwise known as constraints, and that means a1 a2 or a12 and a21 and a22 are structural coefficients and are constants. We will discuss about that structural constants or coefficient during the application case. Right now, just understand that once you identify the decision variable, you need to prepare the objective function. After that, you need to prepare structural constraints. And finally, x1 greater than or equal to 0 and x2 greater than or equal to 0. These will be representing a non-negative constraint. We will discuss in detail about the non-negative constraint during the application case. Right now, these are the major steps with regard to the preparation of a mathematical model of an LPP. So, the conditions 1, 2 are structural constraints 1 and 2. And condition 3 is a non-negative constraint, and C1 and C2 are called structural coefficients and are constants. Structural coefficients mean it may be relating to a profit if it is a maximization profit question, or C1 C2 represents cost if it is relating to a minimization of cost. A11, A12, A21 and A22 are structural coefficients and they will be constant. They don't change. These constants means they are represented in numbers, numerics. That is the meaning of constants. And finally, B1 and B2 are the requirements and are also constant. They will be represented in the form of numbers. And X1 and X2 are decision variables. And these are the various forms or the steps that has to be prepared while dealing with an LPP problem. Now let us discuss a case with regard to that. Then you will get a clear picture regarding what are the steps that has to be prepared and what is the relation between each of these terms. Next one, case. Question. A manufacturer of furniture makes two products, chairs and tables. Processing of these products is done on two machines, A and B. A chair requires 2 hours on machine A and 6 hours on machine B. A table requires 5 hours on machine A and no time is required on machine B. There are 16 hours of time per day available on machine A and 30 hours on machine B. So, profit gained by the manufacturer from a chair is 1 and from a table is 5 respectively. Formulate the problem into a LPP in order to maximize the total profit. That is a concept that is explained in the question. The thing is, there is a manufacturer. He may be a furniture manufacturer. So naturally we know that a furniture manufacturer will produce chair and table. And in the question it is specifically mentioned that profit gained by the manufacturer. So it is a question with regard to profit. So some of our constants which we have mentioned previously, like C1 and C2, they will be representing profits. And instead of C1 and C2, because we have mentioned that C1, C2, B1, A, B, like that, all these are constant. Constant means there will be numbers that will be, or numerics. See, there are numbers that are specified in the question. Usually those constants will, instead of those constants, we will be using numbers. In the space of variables, we will be using numbers. So first of all, it is a question where maximization of total profit is given. So first of all, you need to find out the variables. What should be the X1 or what should be the X2? What are the products that are dealt here? You need to give variables for that. So first of all, you need to give variables. Let X1 be the number of chairs. In the question, first of all, they are mentioning chairs. So that is why we have given X1. And tables, it will be X2. So let X1 be the number of chairs and X2 be the number of tables. Profit from the chair is 1 rupee for each chair. See, in the question it is mentioned that profit gained by the manufacturer from a chair is rupees 1. So let it be like that, 1 into X1. Likewise, the profit from table is 5 into X2, because we have assumed that let the tables be X2 and let the chairs be X1. So profit from one chair is 1 into that, and profit from one table is 5, so it will be 5 into X2. That is how we are going to find the profit. So once we have found out the variables with regard to that, we can prepare an objective function. So here the objective of the decision maker is maximum profit. So total profit equal to Z, the function with regard to LPP, equal to X1 plus 5X2. That is total profit that can be earned. So profit from single chair is given and profit from single table is given. So total profit means profit of chair plus profit of table. So it will be written like this, Z equal to X1. X1 means 1 into X1, it will be X1. If there it was 2, you would have written 2X1. So here it is 1, so we return X1 plus 5 into x2 5x2. So we have successfully prepared the first step, that is objective function. After that you need to find out constraints. Constraints, in order to earn this profit, what we have to do, we have to produce these products, this chair and table. And how this is produced, there is one machine, machine A is given and machine B is given, certain hours on machine A and certain hours on machine B, and the total hours for that particular day is given, like that is given. So on the basis of that information you have to prepare constraints, because in order to earn the profit we need to produce the goods. How we are going to produce? By using the machines. So that is the factors that has to be considered. So they are known as constraints, because without that machine product cannot be produced. So those machines producing the product from using those machines, so information related to that is representing constraints. So with regard to machine A, time required for chairs. For machine A, it is specified that there are two machines. A chair requires 2 hours on machine A. So we have said that time required for chairs is 2 into x1. 2 hours. For what? Chairs. 2 hours for x1. We have assumed that let the chair be x1. So time required for chairs is 2 into x1. Time required for tables in machine A. Time required for tables in machine A. A chair requires 2 hours on machine A and 6 hours on machine B. A table requires 5 hours on machine A. So 5 hours into tables. So time required by chairs and time required by tables is written. Now we can write the total time required. So total time required means time required by the chair on machine A plus time required by table in machine A. If you add these two times, you will get the total time required for producing or required in using machine A. So total time required is 2 into x1 2x1 plus 5 into x2 5x2. So we have prepared one constraint. See, it is like a linear equation which we have mentioned earlier. So machine A is complete. Next one, machine B. And in this question it is also mentioned that there are 16 hours of time per day available on machine A. So in order to do that, in order to do 2x1 and 5x2, in order to produce 2x1 or x1 tables or x2 chairs, we have 16 hours. So the time required or time you can be used out of machine A is 16 hours. You will not get anything more than 16. So available time for producing these chairs and tables is represented as 2x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 16. So the first constraint is prepared. This is how you have to prepare the constraint. Here 16 is represented by B1. In the previous slide we have prepared how the standard and normal mathematical model is prepared, where we have discussed a variable known as B1. B1 in that case we have mentioned that B1 is a constant, because constant will be representing numbers. So here 16. So 2x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 16. So first constraint is prepared. And remember to use the signs less than or equal to 16, because in this question it is mentioned that there are only 16 hours. You can't use anything more than 16. So you have to use within that. Next one, machine B. Similarly, you have to follow the same steps. What is the time required by the chairs in case of machine B? Time required by chairs in case of machine B is 6 hours on machine B. So time required by chairs is 6 hours into what is the variable given for chairs? X1. Next one, time required for tables is 0, because in the question it is mentioned that for producing table they need not have to use the machine B, so let it be 0 into x2. So the total time required in case of machine B is 6x1 plus 0, because there is no time required in machine B, and the total hours available for producing the chairs and tables by using machine B is 30 hours. It is mentioned in the question. So our next constraint will be 6x1 plus 0 less than or equal to 30, because there are only 30 hours available. We can't use anything more than that. Within that you need to produce these two, and similarly here also these two. So we have prepared the objective function, two constraints based on the details given in the question. So finally you have got the answer. In this case the thing is you will not get any single values representing these are the produced in the year, or these are the probability in the year, or these are the values within that. There is no computations like that. The only thing is you need to prepare certain formats, like objective function is that equal to, so like that. Constraint, see, just like a linear equation, you need to prepare various equations with regard to that, or statements with regard to that. That is the answer of these case of type of questions. So finally reaction answer is the LPP is to find the x1 and x2 so that they will get maximum profit. So Z is x1 plus 5x2 subjected to, because in order to achieve this objective function they have to face various constraints. Constraints means one is 2x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 16, 6x1 less than or equal to 30, because 6x1 plus 0, so 0 means it is implied 6x1 less than or equal to 30. So within 16 hours you have your format of constraint is here, within 30 hours constraint is here, and finally x1 greater than or equal to 0 and x2 greater than or equal to 0. This is a common step that will be followed in almost all the cases. So this is the answer. So this is how you have to deal with a linear programming concept. In this case you need not have to find out the final answer or final value, just prepare the statements like various steps. You need to find the objective function and constraints, and on the basis of objective function and constraint the decision maker will use various variables and numbers within these equations to find the appropriate answer. You need not have to go further into that, just to prepare these values, maximize value or minimization value. If it is related to cost, it will be minimization and subjected to various constraints. So this is how you have to deal with a case with regard to LPP. So whenever you come across a question, identify what are the details given in the question, find out x1 and x2, either associated values with regard to that. If it is related to profit, identify those numbers. If it is related to cost, again identify those numbers, write down the objective function. After that identify the constraints. In the previous slide we have mentioned about the formats. In that case we have mentioned about various variables. Some variables will be mentioned as constants. Constants means numbers. We will be using various numerics with regard to those constants. That is why we have mentioned about constants will be represented in the form of numerics. So these are the various aspects with regard to LPP. We will discuss about further cases with regard to that in the next sessions. Until then, go through all these areas.